Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I have another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you guys submit your gaming or Battlefield 3 related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. If you'd like to submit your own question, you can do so by sending me a YouTube message with the title line Q&A, and I can talk about it in a future episode. The first question for today is, what do you think about decreasing the scope and time and making it similar to Battlefield Bad Company 2's SV98? I found the Recon class to be much more balanced in Bad Company 2 because it was able to line up shots at close range due to the fast scoping in time. This would be a buff to the Recon by making it able to shoot shots faster. No, I actually really like the current system in Battlefield 3. I, like you, really enjoyed sniping in Battlefield Bad Company 2, but I just think that the system right now in place for Battlefield 3 is balanced, and DICE has given us a lot of options to play the aggressive recon role, maybe not to the point like it was in Battlefield Bad Company 2, because in that game, if you were up close and personal, no matter where you shot your enemy with one of the bolt-action rifles, they would die, so that's not true here, but they have given us that smaller hitbox over the chest, so you don't always have to go for the headshot. And also, if you want to play aggressively, you can use a different scope. You don't have to use the 8x or the 12x, which has a lot longer zoom-in time, and you could use something like the Cobra sight, or if you want a little bit more amplification, you could use the ACOG scope. So there really are a lot of options if you want to play the aggressive recon role, and even if you are using the 12x scope, you can still play aggressively. As you can see here in the video, I am going against targets who are up close and personal. Sure, it's not going to be as effective if I was using something a little bit more practical, but I can still do it. I'm not really sure why I only use the 12x scope on the bolt-action rifles. It's probably due to a couple of reasons, but you know, I do play aggressively with it, and that option is still available for me. But like I said, in Battlefield 3, I do think it's balanced, and if you want to play the aggressive recon role, DICE has given the options. You just have to use them. The next question for today is, what if when you have been spotted, you can get a small notification / indicator, let's say on the minimap or somewhere else on the HUD, that you have been spotted so that you can get to cover and wait until it has gone away? No, I also disagree with this suggestion. I'm assuming what DICE was going for with the spotting game mechanic, actually I know what they were doing, was to enhance teamwork so that if you do see someone spotted, you can let your allies know where they are, and so that hopefully they can either avoid getting killed by them or they can take them out themselves. So it's a nice dynamic there where you can work as a team and to identify where targets are. But not only that, but if you were literally on the battlefield in real life and you had your squad next to you and you see an enemy off in the distance, you'll whisper to your ally or talk to your ally, you know, depending on how far out they are and how much gunfire is going on. You'll say, hey, he's on the second floor in the construction building, take him out, and they'll know exactly where he is. Sure, there's not going to be a red indicator or a red triangle over his head, but he'll know where he is. And if let's say it was a sniper up there, the sniper isn't all of a sudden going to know that he's spotted because his enemies started to whisper or talk to each other. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm only speculating at this point because I've never been in active duty, but I would just assume that would be how it would work. But with regard to the current spotting system in Battlefield 3, like I said, I like how it works right now. If you're running out in the open, just assume that you're spotted and take a couple of seconds once you get under cover to wait for that spot on you to run out. That's what I do if I run out in Caspian Border. I'm running from like C to E. If I'm out in the open for a while, I'll just get behind cover for a couple of seconds once I get to my destination and then move on from there. And that's how I avoid getting spotted and killed by someone who has a spot on me. The final question for today, as a YouTuber, you spend time using and learning a variety of guns. Has this improved your game? As someone who wants to improve, is my time better spent mastering a good, well-rounded gun for each class, such as the M16 for assault, or should I spend time with all the weapons? Does your answer change given the amount of time someone can commit to the game? Yeah, as a YouTuber, I do use a variety of weapons, and I think the only way that has really improved my gameplay is to know which weapons excel and which ones don't, and when one is going to perform better in certain situations. So when I am using that weapon, I can use it to my advantage and avoid its weaknesses. So I guess in that regard, yes, it has improved my game, but what I'm assuming you're asking is to how do I improve my gun skills? And the best way to do that is to really just stick with a certain class and a certain weapon, and that's why a lot of people stick with the M16A3, like you said, for the assault class. It's arguably one of the best weapon in the game right now. There has been other weapons that have gotten some buffs, and that's nice, and I think that's a good thing. And DICE has also said that they're going to be nerfing it to put it more in line with the other weapons, which I also think is a good thing. But back to your question, the best way to improve your gameplay and your gun skills is to stick with a couple of weapons and really just only use those, because when you're switching between weapons constantly like I do, you never really get comfortable with one, and then when you switch to another one, it's going to be a little off. You're not going to know exactly how the recoil is going to handle, and you're just not going to perform as good. And I'm not really saying you can't play like that, and I actually encourage that you use a lot of weapons, because that's why they're there, and DICE has given you a lot of options, and it really can spice up your gameplay and make the game fresh in a lot of situations. So I do think that you should switch out your weapons constantly if that's what you like, but if you are solely concerned with improving your gameplay, no matter how much time you have to play Battlefield 3, the best way to go about that is to use 1 or 2 weapons and just completely master them. A lot of the pro gamers only use the M16A3. They have thousands of kills with them, and the reason why that is because they know the ins and outs, and that's all they use is that particular weapon. So that is my main advice. But if you are a casual gamer, or if you just think Battlefield 3 is boring right now, I highly recommend that you use a variety of weapons, because they're there and they're a lot of fun, and they can spice and freshen up your gameplay. But that's it for today's Sunday Mailbox, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, or you just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating and subscribe for more if you haven't already. If you would like to submit your own question, like I said earlier, you can do so by sending me a YouTube message with the title line Q&A. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.